Konnichiwa! Ignore the background noise. Totally ignore it. Why is that not? Well, I can't even see. Hang on. What's going on with this? Oh, I don't want to do that. For some reason, I can't see the top of the screen. But never mind. That'll be alright. We shall be a-okay. Alright, so. Alright, as promised, we're going to do some Kihon tonight. K-I-H-O-N. Kihon means basics. So we're going to go through nice and slowly to the count. So check your haikadachi, make sure you've got enough width in your haikadachi. If you're unsure of getting haikadachi, you go into haisukadachi first. And then you move your toes out into mosubadachi. And then from the toes of the actual feet, as opposed to the balls, you then move out into haikodachi. Haiko, parallel. Dachi, stance. Alright, so put your right arm out punching Chudan level. Chudan, there's 3 levels. Jodan, Chudan, and Gidan. Okay, so Chudan level. Now make sure your palms are rotating opposite each other. From there, just changing slowly. Each. Twisting at the end. Knee. At the end of the punch. San. Shi. Go. Ruk. Sich. Ach. Ko. Jo. Okay, let's go to Jodan. Ish. Ni. San. Shi. Go. Ruk. Sich. Ach. Ko. Jo. Okay, back to Chudan now. I want you to make sure that your elbows are tucked in all the way through. So when you're striking here, just make sure the elbow stays in all the way through, and at the end there's that twist towards the sternum level, really. So don't worry too much about Chudan stomach level. A karate practitioner will be able to take a hit to the stomach. However, hit to the sternum is a little bit different. Okay, so from there, Chudan level. Okay, change a little bit quicker now. Ish. Ni. San. Shi. Go. Ruk. Sich. Ach. Ko. Jo. Okay, back to Jodan. Now remember, with Jodan level, first thing to do is push the elbow down. What that'll do is it'll keep the elbow in, but it'll also allow that fist to come out in a straight line towards the mouth area. So even on the camera you can see my mouth, I'm actually punching, the fist is about this high, okay? So we're not going any higher, we're aiming for the mouth, not the nose. Okay, so we've got our left arm back. So you've got your right arm back. So from that position you're going to go Jodan level. Ish, ni, san, shi, go, ruk, sich, ach, ko, jo. Okay, just relax your arms a second. Alright, there's 2 ways you can do the next technique. You can either do a rolling uruch. So you can roll the uruch, or you can just strike from this position. So I'll show you both, and I'll let you decide which one you want to do. So you first uruch bar parallel with the back of the arms. You're going to allow this arm here, just let the elbow come up, not the arm come out, otherwise it ends up too low. So you push the elbow up and out, and at the end you twist, flick, wrap on the nose, and you pull it back in. Both palms facing each other. There's your first uruch. Second uruch is the rolling one. So we go from uruchi here, and we're going to use this top hand to parry across, to block across. And then the other hand comes on the inside and strikes back out. So the only thing at the end of this is there's no twist and flick. You literally are coming out and around this way, and then strike. You've got to have that flick at the end of the wrist. Okay, so it's up to you which one you want to do. I'll do 5 of the. I'll do the first lot slow pace. I'll do the normal ones, and then we'll do the rolling ones afterwards. Okay, right arm first. Ish, ni, san, shi, go, rik, sich, ach, ko, ju. And it should just flick out and come back. It's as simple as that. Okay, and I'm going to do the rolling aruch. So a little bit quicker now. Okay, ish. Now with this, we're turning the hips off. Ni, san, shi, go, rik, sich, ach, ko, ju. Okay, relax. Okay, next two strikes. You can mix and match between the two. You can either do a yoko oruchi, or you can do tetsui. So yoko oruchi from here. Hand on top does the strike. So you're going to strike out, it comes out. I'll shuffle so you can see. Flicks, and comes back in underneath. Now notice that when I was doing this, the wrist kind of bent. And then at the end, flick. So not right now, not here. The wrist is straight. It's almost like the fist is being left behind, and then flick out and back. You're aiming for the temple. Last one you're aiming for the bridge of the nose. So if you're going to do that, you make sure you look first, but also make sure that that elbow comes up. It's no good going 1, 2. It's a pointless exercise. Just from here, strike out, come back, and then it comes underneath. And the next one, out and back. Then underneath. If you want to do tetsui, from here, prepare, strike out, leave it there. Okay, ikate back on the hip. When you prepare again, it's one with the guide. You can have your guide arm open or closed, don't really care. And then we strike out. Two ways you can do the tetsui. You can either prepare with the palm facing you, and then at the end, out, 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 and then twist at the end. Or you can just come from here, strike straight out. Either way, this to me, with the twist at the end, it just adds a bit more power for what I can feel. Okay, so you can do the again. I'll do 10 of each. So oruch, I'm gonna go left side first. Ish, ni. Make sure you look. San, shi, go, rik, sich, ach, ko, ju. Okay, and I'm going to go into tetsui. Ich, ni, san, shi, go, rik, sich, ach, ko, ju. Okay, relax, yasame. Yeah, it does play around your shoulders a little bit. Okay, next technique, you can either do shitozuki or you can do kagezuki. Choice is yours. So what I would do in class is, I would have certain grades doing the uruch. Then I'd have, say in the same class, the higher grade doing the rolling uruch. And then certain grades, the lower end, doing this side back fist. And then the higher grades doing the tetsui. And then the same with this. So you'd have lower grades doing shitazuki. So your shitazuki is elbow bent, and it just comes one out, one back. Palm stays facing upwards, aiming towards the centre if you can. So you don't try and get the elbow too far across your body, but just on the side of the body will do. You can actually punch a little bit across your body. So it's slightly angled. That's your shitazuki. Kagezuki is here, striking across. And notice that twist as well at the end, but the elbow's remaining in, so we're not hooking. Kage is a hook punch, but from here we're just coming across, locking at the end. So again, I'll do 10 and 10. So we'll do 10 sort of medium pace, and then 10 sped up a little bit, or 10 slow pace, and then 10 medium pace. So from there, shitazuki. Right arm first. Ish, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Then you can do Shitazuki again, or you can do Kagizuki. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Okay, good, Yasame. Alright, probably won't get through kicks today. We might get through some slow ones. You'll have to forgive me. We've got a student in the corner. Alright, and you could see what I could see. There's all sorts going on. She's excited that we're not doing kicks. But she's going to be even more disappointed when we actually get through to kicks. Yeah, she's jumping up and down. Wish you guys could see what I could see. Okay, next technique, hijiate, rising elbow strike. Now again with this, it literally is straight off the hip. What people want to do is they want to throw this fist out first and then throw the fist across the neck, across the back of the shoulder. No, 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 no. Straight line from fist to ear, as much as you possibly can. You want to aim for the centre line as much as you possibly can, but don't go too high. You know, my chin's here, which means the beard's getting quite long. But just, you know, aim for more around this section with your hijiate. Okay? Okay, we'll start off with the left arm first. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Okay, we're going to go straight to Mawashi Empi because these next two are easy, so we'll go to Mawashi Empi now. Hand on the hip, rolls around. And with that, the elbow comes out and around. Don't roll around first and then lift the elbow. You do see this in some kata, but for the purpose of this strike, Mawashi Empi, round elbow strike, come around. Strike to the side of the jaw, but again, just try not to go too high with this. Jawline will sort of here will suffice. Okay, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. You want the index finger knuckle to finish in the centre line of the chest. Is where you pretty much want to be if you're going to gauge it. Palm, obviously faces outwards. It's because of that roll. Okay, relax. Okay, next technique. Next technique, this is a bit more advanced. So we will, I'll give you a technique to do in place of. If you're following on, and again, we'll just do these slowly because they are advanced techniques. We're going to do Haito strike, reach hand. So the hand is thumbs pulled to the side. So with this, I want to strike with this part of the thumb as opposed to there. So thumbs pulled to the side. You have to forgive me fingers, it's difficult for me to put them together. And there's a slight kink in the elbow. So don't go straight with this. So nice and slow. When we prepare, we come to the small of the back. Come to the small of the back here. It drops down to the side and it comes up and around. The other hand goes from top of the chest, straight back to the hip. Easy piece. Put your left arm out. Okay. Each, prepare, strike. Knee, san. This is a great technique to start off using hips. What I mean when I say that is when you're starting to use your hips, it may seem a little bit difficult of how to understand hips, particularly when you're a beginner. So when you're doing this, whatever way the arms fold, let the hips go that way first. And then where the arms are going next, let the hips just carry them around. So you can roll up and then around. Okay? When you get more proficient with this, you tend to not have that first kind of roll. What happens is you prepare square and then you just fire the hip into the strike itself. Okay, so rather than sort of slow it down and be this, it just becomes one technique. So the second you can feel the hand in your chest, you want to be striking. Okay, so it's kind of a pom-pom. Alright, so we'll do a few more of these. San, shi, Go. Ruk. Sich. Ach. Go. Jo. Okay, next technique we'll do Shutozuki. So this hand, just angle it across your body and pull the thumb towards you. So again, a slight kink in the arm. We're angled slightly upwards with this. It's not flat, slight angle upwards. I'm going to come to the ear, down the wrist, pull back and flick. And again, we're angled across the body. So we want to be, see where my arm is now across the body? Don't want to be here. Want to be striking little finger. So I've got my right arm out, little finger side of the hand to the left side of my face. Okay, temple height. Okay, ish. Ni, san, shi, go, ruk, sich, ach, ko, ju. Okay, I did say that for anybody that's not doing this, I'd give you some other techniques to do. Sorry, just do these. Okay, yakushuto, outside shuto. Okay, we're going to prepare similar to haito. Fold into the chest, come up to the ear. We're going to L shape with the striking arm. And what happens is as the striking arm comes out, it actually straightens to the point of slight kink. Okay, so it started here. But as it came out to the side, you might be able to see it from this angle. As it came out to the side, we went for the L shape and then we allowed it to just come out slightly. Okay, same principle applies, so you might as well try this. So with your left arm out now, okay, ich, ni, san, shi, go, ruk. The same thing applies with the hips as I said on haito, so you can start to wind up. But then what happens eventually is it becomes 1, 2. Sich, ach, ko, ju. Relax, yasame. Alright, grab yourself a quick drink. We probably won't get, we've only done 15 minutes so far. So we'll probably just go through the blocks. I'll sort the blocks out for you and then we'll do stances and we'll probably start on kicks next week. Okay? So that's probably how we're gonna run it. Okay, next technique, Jodan Agi Uke. Jodan head, Agi rising, Uke to receive. Uke doesn't mean block, Uke means to receive. UKE, but pronounced Uke. So we're going to go to the shoulder first with our right arm. Going to come up, other arm, back on the hip. So you make sure you prepare. So prepare ish, and then switch. Make sure the arms cross at the middle. When I say across the middle, what I mean is this. See, that's your center point, and then up. Ni, san, shi, go, ruk, sich, ach, ko, ju. Now with this, you don't have to come to the shoulder once you get more proficient with this. So rather than it be here, let it just come past and then up. But don't allow it to come around, okay? And avoid that. Don't ever do that. That would be like saying, let's punch this way, which you don't do. So basically, get your punch out. That's where your wrist wants to be. So if you can't go from Jodan into a strike without moving the wrist, you're in the wrong place. If you stood here like this, then you end up dropping down. You're striking with this part of the hand. And all this part of the hand is good for doing is, hello, hello, is talking. Alright? So literally talk to the hand. Okay, so I'll do a few more Jodan. Ish, ni, san, shi, go, rik. Okay, relax. We're going to do uchi-uke. So drop this arm down, shoulder height with the fist, elbow tucked in, right angle in the elbow kink. Okay, we're going to come across the belly, palm faces downwards. We're then going to just, that centre point is actually here as well. But for now, just draw this arm straight back. So cross and twist, and then hook. Okay, ish, ni, san, shi, go, rik, sich, ach, ko, ju. Okay, when I say the centre point, both arms are going to work together. So I'll have the hands open just so you can see. Plus they're aching a little bit now. So from this position, as you come across the belly, there's your first point of call. First port of call, sorry. And then we hook. Now what some styles will teach to begin with is they'll teach you just to across, bring this arm back. But that works contrary to what you actually want to do, because with all blocks there is two arms, so you never just use one arm to block. So if you can imagine a punch coming towards the head, for example, what you're first of all doing is you are, from this position, your Jodan position, you are blocking that punch, reinforcing behind the punch, which could be also construed as this. From guard position, blocking that punch, and then blocking here. Sorry, you're receiving the punch, not blocking, receiving. And then sped up would just be from a Heikerechi position, here. And then same with uchi-uke. It would be receive the punch, and then reinforce the punch. So you receive first, and then you reinforce. But they all happen together. Receive and prepare here. Now from a fighting point of view, from a guard position, again you start here and you would receive, block. Receive, block. But it would all happen together. So from this guard position, it would be 1, 2. Okay, soto uke next. Soto uke. Outside to inside hook block. Now there's two ways that you can do this. I'm going to show you both of them. First of all, palm forwards, elbow same as the shoulder, in the air. Other arm for now, bring back to the hip. In fact, there's different ways you can do this. I'll show you more. Okay, we're going to just turn the hips around and let the elbow drop and then turn the fist out. So we're going to come up level with the feet. So in line with where the feet are. Not in line with where the hips are. So have that in mind. So if you were preparing, if you were to the front, you'd be here, which would also tie in with here. And then your soto uke is there. Okay, so we'll come across, preparing level with the feet. So your feet are on this imaginary line, put your arm on that same line. Hips are off, and then round. Up, around. Now the other way you can do it is you'd have to go so high with this. So you can just from this position, 1, 2. So it literally just comes up to here and across. Up and across. There's another way you can do it. The third way you can do it is with a guide arm. So if we get to the soto uke position, we can go guide, block. Go guide, block. Choice entirely to the individual. Why is the guide arm there, I hear you cry? That's for another class. But I'll tell you later. I will show you. Got to keep some secrets from you, alright? Because the saying is that the cat taught the tiger everything it knows. So the tiger, you know, the big cat, little cat taught the tiger everything it knows. Until one day, the tiger decided it was hungry and wanted to eat the cat. So the cat ran up a tree. And the tiger said, "You didn't teach me that. You've got to keep 10% for yourself. Always. Always keep a little bit for yourself." Tigers probably can climb trees, but that's not how the story goes. Sotuke, however way you want to do it, you've got 3 choices. It's entirely up to you. Ish, ni, san, shi, go, ruk, sich. Main thing with this is the hips. Ach, go, jo. Okay, from there, drop this arm down. You're going to do Gidan Barai. Oh, hello, Steve. I can't see who's watching because I can't see the top of the screen. Gidan Barai. Now, Gidan Barai is going to consist of two blocks. Gidanuke and Gidan Barai. So, Gidan is the groin level, or below the belt. Barai, sweep. So, it's a sweeping block. So, I'll show you the wrong way, I'll show you the right way. Wrong way is to come to the shoulder, or the vicinity of the shoulder, like with Jodan, and draw a line down your arm. That's the basic way, that's how I would teach it to beginners. Okay, the correct way is to, with this hand, draw the letter C. So you actually come out past the arm. So Barai is sweep, not stab, which is basically what that's doing. The Gidan part is here, Gidan. Gidanuke there. So you're kind of blocking and blocking. Block, block. And again, they all happen together. 1, here. 2. Okay, nice and slowly. Ish, ni, san, shi, go, ruk, sich, ach, go, ju. Steve, it's perfectly fine. It's alright, you don't have to apologise. That's why they get uploaded to YouTube, so you can catch up later. That's why they get uploaded to Facebook, so you can catch up later. Alright, so this is just a basics teaching class. Okay, Gidanuke. Exactly the same as Sotuke, but Gidan level. So the hand on the hip just drops. And then across. Ish, ni, san, shi, go, ruk, sich, ach, ko, jo. Okay, relax. Okay, next technique, Chugiyuke. Now the hand coming down will always come down on the inside, palm facing upwards. The hand coming up will always come up on the outside, palm facing downwards. Things to avoid with Chugiyuke. Watch my shoulders. No. Watch my elbows. No. Watch my hips. No. It literally, from this position, falls in and around. Notice the shoulders didn't go anywhere. Now, what I tend to do is, the hand that's coming up, I'll fire that hip. So it kind of becomes this. So your hips need to roll, not backwards and forwards. So again, I'll fire that hip. So it's almost as though from this position, I'm just going from here to here. And the other hand is just going along with it, it's just dropping down. Okay. Ish, ni, san, shi, go, ruk, sich, ach, ko, jo. Okay, next technique, kakiyuke. Kakiyuke. Okay, parry hand. Parry hand across, left hand, right hand opens, solar plex with the left hand, block with the right, turn and pull in with the elbow. Don't pull down with the shoulder. Don't try and pull in with the shoulder. If anything, you pull in with the elbow. Okay, when I say parry hand, punch is coming in. We've just done this actually. Remember what I said about this? Same principle applies. It's just this one kind of reaches. You reach out first, turn and pull. So when I say reach out, from this position here, it's underneath, my right arm's underneath. My left arm's underneath, but it's your right arm if you're mirroring. So the right arm's underneath, the left elbow. See that angle there? Draw a line up the arm and reach out. At that point, you're pulling back. Turn, elbow down. Then all we do is we push under, parry across, reach, pull down. If you focus, so to anybody that's advanced, I would say brown plus, focus more on this as opposed to the actual block itself. Again, you know, in class I can show you why. So from there, right arm up, okay, ish, knee. And with this block, you want to be forming an apex. And we're coming to here. So avoid any, see the circular motion there with the hand? Get rid of that. Just from this position under, straight up, straight down. We're drawing, where the line is here, that's basically the path of the hand. Okay? So not here, here. Oh, it must be Illuminati. Okay, from there. Ish. Ni. San. Shi. Go. Ruk. Sich. Ach. Ku. Ju. Okay, now what I would do with the hips is the hand that's going out, I would throw that hip out with it and then pull in. So you kind of get something like this, but then sped up. I'll do the same side so you can see it sped up. Here. Okay. Oh, bad for a fat guy. So that's what happens. The one thing to avoid with Kakyuke is allowing that to happen. What should happen with Kakyuke is even though you're coming up palm upwards and you're coming up this way, at the end you should be twisting and back in. Now that's the other way you can do it is palm forwards. So you can come across from here and it can just be this, kind of like you're waving. Also, not incorrect. I don't mind either way. It's up to you as an individual. I tend to find myself sometimes here. And if you slow that down, I mean it looked pretty quick on my TV, but if you slow that down, what happened is I came out this way, I came up here, flicked and turned back in. Doesn't really matter which way you do it. The main part of this block is this, the parry arm. Okay, next block that everybody loves. 2 ways of doing this and I'll show you both. Mawashi yuke. So you do right arm up, sorry, left arm up, right arm down. Palm on the left arm is the same as the shoulder. The palm on the right arm is shitazuki, palm exposed. Now, you'll see in a lot of styles they will come to here, to the middle. Again, not incorrect. I just prefer it my way. So we're going to do 3 halves of a circle. We're going to go around to the outside first. I'm going to go 1. There's your first half. Now notice that I'm blocking the face with the palm, but I'm blocking the groin with the back of the hand. Same as Chuguyuke, we're going to come down palm upwards on the inside, palm downwards on the outside. We're going to hit quarter past 9. From there, we're going to come back up. Now we're blocking Girambarai here, Uchiyuke here. And then as we continue the roll, pull into the hip, and then we push. So what happens is we're away from the body. We've done our first half of the circle. Notice the hands haven't really come close to the body. Then our second half of the circle, hands are still quite far from the body. Then on the third half of the circle, we are still rolling the hands, but we're pulling the arms back at the same time. And then we push. Goal with this isn't to have 1, 2, 3, stop, push. The goal with this is as soon as you get to that stop it where you want to stop, is make that your push. Okay? So it would look something like this. Around, stop, push. No. Needs to be here. As soon as it's hit, be pushing. There's your first version. Second version for the advanced out there. So we'll go to here. Now we're going to miss out this part completely. And we're just going to go from here to here. And then we'll just continue around as we normally would. We're going to go from here to here. And continue around as we normally would. And we are changing arms each way. And then we're going to switch. And then around. And you've got to make sure you pass face and groin. With the first version, you pass face and groin once, face and groin twice. Okay? With the second version, you pass face once, face twice, groin once, and then in. And again, that version sped up would just be from here to here, here, and it's just around this way. So again, a bit like I said with Kakayuke. So there's two ways you can do it. It's entirely up to you how you do it. The idea behind going to the outside is so that you change arms. Mawashi Yuke is actually from a fighting stance position, falls to the inside first. Here. But I've not changed arms. If we fall to the outside, now we've changed arms. So Mawashi Yuke is actually this. From this position, here. Okay, all right. Up to you how you want to do it. I'm going to do it the second way that I showed you. I just feel more comfortable that way. Ish. Ni. San. Shi. Go. Rik. Sich. Ach. Ku. Ju. Right, let me slow that first version down for you. So I'll do it again one more time and then we'll move into Shutouke. I'll do stances first, then move into Shutouke. Okay, so from this position, left arm up, right arm down. I'm going to fall to the outside first. We're going to come down on the inside, up on the outside, and then hip and shoulder. I'm going to go outside first again, down on the inside, up on the outside, hip and shoulder. Second version, straight underneath. Continue the circle round, all the way around, hip and shoulder. From here, across the stomach, continue the circle. You've done one, it's just one full circle. Last time, cross, all the way around. Ayasame. Just while you're getting some air in your lungs, I do watch a lot of martial arts on YouTube. And I see that there's all these, there's kickboxing classes, taekwondo classes even. And the one thing that a lot of these cool looking arts, I'll call them arts, forget to do is teach basics. So going to a kickboxing class, chances are your instructor will say, there's a kick shield or there's a kick bag, go and hit it. But you don't hit it right, so you forget the Kihon. And there's also an advert about, you can just see a woman's torso and she's punching a punch bag. She's not punching it right. So unless it's being taught properly and you're actioning it properly, just make sure your Kihon's there. Kihon, you should never, ever, ever neglect your Kihon. Okay? When we've done classes before in the living room, or even in class, it might be a case where we stand here like this and do Kihon. It might be where Kihon is part of a combination, or Kihon is part of the kata, like we've done for the last 14 weeks. There's a lot of Kihon in there, a lot of basics in there. And it's important that you don't neglect those. Okay, from there, stepping your right leg back into Zenkotsudachi. So from Haikadechi position, I'm going to go left, you're going to go right. Right leg's going to go back 2 shoulder widths. Mai. Okay, now with this, don't panic about the hips being really square to the front. Some of us struggle to get the hips to the front. So it's okay to just have them off slightly. Okay, front foot pointing forwards. Front knee push forwards just over the ankle. So it's slightly forwards of the ankle. Back foot on a 45-degree angle. Or 22.5, just not straight. Back leg nice and squat, nice and straight. Now with the guard, the basic rule of thumb is whatever leg is forwards, that hand is always going to be the high hand. So your guard becomes this. Now while you're settling into this stance, the one thing I want you to avoid with this stance is, I'll do it now for you, is avoid this kind of sitting in the stance, okay? You want to have that feeling like you are actually forwards, because in this stance, 70% of the body weight is forwards. So if you feel like you're sort of on your back leg, and you're doing this in your kata, you're arching your back and it's straining your back. If your back is straining, you're doing it wrong, okay? So you want to be shoulders above your hips, straight line from here, straight down, here. Okay, so you want to be you do want to feel like you're falling forward slightly. Forgot what else I was going to say with that. Never mind. Okay, from there, gap. Oh, that was it with the guard position. I do see a lot of people do the guards this way. Now this says this is borderline this. Okay, borderline fetal position. So this says, please don't hit me. Have your guard that little bit further out, a bit more confidence, because what happens is when you bring the guard in, the shoulders kind of hunch up. Shoulders relaxed, guard out. So I'll show you both ways. From here, watch my shoulders. Now out, relaxed. One says, I'm a victim. The other one says, you can have a go. I don't know what's going to happen, but at least there's an air of confidence there. So you get your right leg back in Zenkotsudachi. We've not relaxed yet. Okay, you're going to change legs. Now when you change legs, there's different ways of doing this. For now, we'll step forwards and step backwards. Okay? Reason being is that one is non-aggressive, one is aggressive. So from here, we're going to step in. We're going to maintain the same height as much as we possibly can. Now I've not changed the height of my stance, I've just got close to the camera. So from there, we're going to go left leg back now. And also, the guard changes with the legs. So we step in, we step back, and we set the stance. Step in, step back. Now with the guard, don't let them roll outside. Let them just come forwards, which is kind of like, this, Yeesh. And just sit. Knee. San. Shi. Okay, now from this position we're going to keep that horse riding stance. Anybody watching this might say, well, your hands have been open. Look, it doesn't matter to me because we're not worried about the hands right now. It's the stance we're concerned with, alright? So don't be so tight with these because once these start to tighten, everything behind them will tighten up as well, alright? So let these relax. There's nothing wrong with having a loose hands and just changing the guard. Even if you do it quick, here, the hands can still be loose. It takes less effort. Okay, keep it at horse stance. We're going to step in, and we're going to step that same leg out 2 shoulder widths wide. Now I'm going to shuffle back a little bit so you can see the camera. Both feet pointing straight forwards. Knees, slight bend in the knees. People do go too low with this and it's wrong. It's not great. You want to feel a bit of pain in the ankles. So you want to feel the ankles just stretch and push out. So you're pushing out there. Hips nice and square. We're going to be square because of the stance you're in. And however you feel comfortable with the guard. But don't forget, not here, here. Now with this, I'll do this from the side. The way to do this isn't to rock back in this. If anything, see my shoulders went back then. If anything, you want to be rolling hips forwards in this stance. The way this stance was developed from a story that I was told, and I like the story, so this is the way I'm gonna tell it. Derives from Shotokan. Now the founder of Shotokan was Ginshin Funakoshi. The reason it's called Shotokan is because kan is the system, the school. Shoto was what he signed the letters. When he wrote a letter, he signed them Shoto. Because he believed that karate should be like wind in the trees. And how he used to practice this stance was get on the roof of his house with a board against the wind and practice. So the wind's blowing, practice. So I like that story. I don't care if it's true or not. I like both of those, how Shotokan came about and also how the name came about and also how Kibarachi was practiced back in those days. So I don't care if it's true. I don't care if it's not. To me, it's a nice story. So I'm sticking to it. Okay, next stance. Shigadachi. Shikodachi. So from this position, we're going to turn feet out 45 degrees. Now when I say 45 degrees, I mean 45 degrees from the inside edge. We're then going to go from where we are. Now I always said to students that if you've got to do this before you go into Shikadachi, you need a bigger gi. I don't need a bigger gi, I actually need smaller legs. And maybe a smaller waist. Alright? So from this position, all we're going to do is from guard position, just sink straight down. Ideally, slight angle on the top of the legs, same as the shoulders. Shins above the ankles. Guard in position, hips roll forwards. And then we hold it for 10, 9, 8, 7. Got to push your knees apart. 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. And relax. If you do have kids, get them to eat the breakfast that way. Get into sumo stance, eat your breakfast that way. So yeah, best place to practice stances is probably the best place to practice any kind of karate or any martial arts is in the pool. Practice stance in the pool, you'll be in sumo stance for like 10-15 minutes because the water's lifting you up. I used to love going to the swimming pool and just practicing karate. I can't swim to save my life, but I suppose I could if I need to save my life. But I used to do resistance training. Was good. Okay, next stance, Sanchindachi. Sanchin. Okay, so from where your feet are right now, just take your right foot, put it heel of the right foot in line with the toes, scone. Heel of the right foot in line with the toes of the left foot. Oh, sorry, I'm mirroring out. So heel of the left foot in line with the toes of the right foot. Now from that position, don't turn your toes inwards. Turn your heel outwards and collapse. Now the way I first got taught this, back in the year 2000, let's all meet up in the year 2000, was to have the knees together. Now that is uncomfortable. Ideally, if you are being kicked, for example, you don't want your knees to catch the kick. You want the kick to be caught around between knee and groin area. Alright, so in the thighs. So we're here. And the way the Japanese actually test this is, yes, they kick you. How do I know? Been there, done that. Back leg slightly bent. guarding position. Now remember, whichever leg's forwards, that hand is high. Okay, so from this position, all we're going to do now is we're going to step forward. Now we step forwards, we're going to bring the heel in, not the toes outwards. Don't do anything with this foot. I'll show you the error now. What happens, I want you to focus on this leg, this my right. So we come in, we step forwards with our siriachi, and then we tend to go out with the heel. No. Both sides. So from here we're going to bring the heel in and then leave it there. Good way to practice this. Get some weights in your hands. It's good for grip strengthening, and just step through. So heel in, through, and down. Now you might see this done with Chukuyuke. It can be done with all blocks really, but it doesn't really matter. The main thing is that when you execute your siriachi, that what happens is as you bring this heel in, don't forget the pelvic thrust. Yeah, we're not doing that. For you guys that don't know what Steve means with the pelvic thrust, from here what people tend to do is they get into the san chindach and both hips kind of roll forwards. No, that's not how it works. How it should work is the back leg tense the backside. Now watch the hip. Slight lift. Very slight. I'll do it to the front so you can see. So the suki way is this. The correct way, watch this hip. As we tense this backside, the knee doesn't straighten by the way, just tense the backside. Very slight movement. Very, very slight. And the other way that the Japanese test this is they kick you in the backside and punch you in the backside, just to make sure that your butt cheeks tensed. They can also, another good way to test this is to come along and step on the top of the calf, just to test that there's no movement there, because if this leg's locked in, it's not going to move, it's not going anywhere. So it won't do this. If it's locked, they'll just be able to stand on you. Simple. Okay, next. Oh, that's nearly an hour. Can you believe this? Nikolas Cat Stance. Now, we won't panic too much about blocks with this or guard. From this position, stepping your right foot forwards, turning your left heel in. If you want to get pedantic, you can go between 45 degrees and 22.5 degrees. Front foot is a shoulder width long from the back foot, and the heels aren't in line. The ball of the front foot is in line with the heel of the back foot. Okay, because you want to be stepping in a straight line. I'll show you the wrong way. So from here, as we turn this foot in, we're going to go forwards, straight through. Okay? Same on the way back. The one thing you want to avoid is if your heels are in line, you're going to drop. You can probably just see my heel now. And then I've got to come, if I come through in a straight line, I get this. But if the ball of my foot is in line with the heel, and I've dropped my heel in, straight on my back foot, come through in a straight line. And the same thing for going backwards. Now you want 99.9% of the weight on your back leg. All I'm going to do is drop in, step. I'm going to go back one, so you drag back, step. And then relax. Okay, right, I'm going to call it a day there. We'll avoid Kokutsudachi and Shutouke for now. We'll probably start with a couple of kick combinations next week. Yeah, that's it. Give us a thumbs up. Give us a like if you want. Yeah, if you've got any questions, you can email me at tadashi.ru@yahoo.com, or you can post on the Facebook, or you can leave it on YouTube. All right. Other than that, I will say arigato and sayonara. Have a good evening. See you soon.